Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We've got Game 3 of our opening best of 3 today for the Summit 3 Phase 1 of the European Pre-Qualifiers Power Rangers versus 4ASC. It's coming down to this best of 1. I'm Zyori, joined again by Blaze, and the winner of this one will be moving on. Blaze, what are you thinking? It's been a crazy series so far. Both games rather one-sided. Who's got the edge coming into Game 3?
It's a tough call, man. I mean, the Power Rangers are kind of going with a draft reminiscent of Game 1. Because they went for first pick here, they will not be able to combo up the Venge and the Batrider, so don't even bother with the Batrider because Venge would counter it too easily. But 4 anchors opening with the Volix Enigma. You said they were confident with it. They showed a lot of potential with it, enabling their carries to do their thing while the Enigma at least provides the threat of the Black Hole. It's going to be Jungle Wars here, man, and I really think that either side could tip it in their favor very early this game, like within 10 minutes. I'm not going to say it's decided, but there's certainly going to be an advantage significantly one way or another. So I'm pretty pumped for it. I would say Power Rangers looked so strong in their last game that I would give them the edge in momentum and in general just strength as a team. Okay. But it's a tough call because obviously 4 anchors were able to pull out that magnificent Game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree with you, though. I feel like Game 1, 4ASC just got ahead, maybe caught Power Rangers off guard a little bit, and then just used that momentum to never give it up. It was good execution, but it wasn't quite as much like in that second game where it was a little more even, and it felt like Power Rangers just outclassed them a little bit. Better execution. Trixie really didn't have a good game on the axe. They did a good job of keeping him down, and of course their Batrider really shined. Little surprised to see him not banned out here, given how much of a thorn he was in the side of 4ASC last go around, but hey, he's made it through and has not been picked up in this opening round. Chen Sniper for PR, Enigma Skywrath for the anchors. There it is, Blaze. They're going back to their roots, doing what worked for him yesterday. First pick Enigma. We'll see how it works here.
Yeah, great potential there with just the overall AoE magic damage. A nice thing is Enigma can even use the demonic conversion on a few of the Chen creeps there. The Ogre, the Wolf Commander, take those out of the picture, and just make it more difficult to engage. But overall, I think it's going to be about mech timings. It's going to be about who can keep who alive. And it's pretty interesting to see the Sniper picked up instead of the Shadow Fiend. They had the choice of both. Generally speaking, you have a Chen Hand of God, you're like, oh, this is great for a Shadow Fiend to survive longer and get his ultimate off. But they go for the Sniper, and if they can pick up something like a Clockwork, I could actually see this working really well. But for now, they pick up the Sniper, they ban the SF, and we'll see what Phase 2 brings.
Yes, sir. Broodmother banned out by 4ASC, a snaky offlaner that some teams just really hate playing against, and we've seen some even the classic counters against Broodmother not being the hard counter they need. You know, I have to say, apparently I was wrong about who the C captain is in 4 anchors. I guess Matumba Man is the true C captain. Trixie has always been an anchor, will stay an anchor. That's my bad. I didn't realize the hierarchy on the boat of 4ASC.
Who's first mate then? I don't know.
Didn't do my... I guess Boogie, since he's the drafter. That would be my guess. I don't know. You know, someone's got to swab the poop deck. Maybe that's Volix in the jungle.
Yeah, you know, everybody's got their own role to play, I suppose. But, I mean, they were really mixing things up a nice little amount as far as, like, who gets what farm priority at what point in time. I like their overall rotations and decision-making in the early to mid-game. But the Broodmother ban is probably the smartest thing that I've seen for their draft so far. Enigma and Skywrath cannot handle a Broodmother. They cannot do anything to that hero that will actually prevent it from accomplishing its goals, which is just to kill supports, to invade jungles, to cause problems, and to push buildings. And yeah, the Skywrath and Enigma are probably the worst support duo I can possibly think of in terms of actually dealing with the Broodmother. And it's really important that that doesn't come into play at all. Like, these heroes would just get trashed by it.
Yeah, no, I agree. A smart ban, and that Vengeful Spirit also taken out of the pool. So, 4ASC, a lot of different ways they can take this draft. Volix does do things a little differently on his Enigma. He loves the Bloodstone. He's a Bloodstone Enigma player, which is a little funky, but he did it, I think, in all 3 of the games we saw yesterday. At least 2 of the 3, if not all of them.
That is an interesting build. I'd love to see how it works. It's kind of like a pseudo-mech, and the fact that when he dies, assuming he does die pretty early in the fight, he gets the heal to everyone, and he gets back into the fight pretty quickly. It means that he doesn't have to worry about mana if he goes into something like a Refresher Orb long-term. But overall, yeah, it's a pretty interesting pickup, and I'll be excited to see how it works out. I want to look at the offlane options for Power Rangers here because it seems to me like Clockwork and Batrider are two really good heroes in this metagame that would do a lot for creating space for Sniper. Do you have a preference towards either, or if they get either one?
I do like the nature of the Clockwork against the Enigma, but, well, they're going to do something totally different. They go for the Spirit Breaker here. We've seen Power Rangers play it a little bit, not nearly as much as, is it Hellraisers that's been playing a hell of a lot of offlane Spirit Breaker? I believe it is. I think SB is pretty good right now, but it all comes down to playstyle. His real power is not in the KDA, not in any kind of numbers, but his ability just to peel supports. He'll usually focus the back line and just make their life a living hell, so Skywrath has to focus his attention on not getting bashed by a Space Cow rather than finding that perfect Mystic Flare, and also that long-range charge can be a good way to catch that Enigma off guard when he's looking for that perfect black hole. If he's stuck in a bash, not going to be so easy. So I think a pretty good pick here. But, oh boy, the Anchors strike back with the Phoenix. Though the point I was going to make is I think Clockwork against Enigma is just inherently good. Gives you a long-range tool outside of the range of the black hole to cut through BKB with that mini stun he gets. Just a good hero counter in general.
Definitely. I mean, there are some risks going up against the Skywrath, like the Mystic Flare inside your cogs, but I think if you are able to go for the NA build of just rushing Blade Mail with just brown boots, then you should be able to manage against that decently. But they go a very different route here. They go with the Spirit Breaker. We'll see what role it will play very soon. More often than not, it is off lane. And we're also seeing the Phoenix come back into play. I don't know if they're going to go for the Silencer again. They could, definitely, if they wanted to have the offlane Spirit Breaker and that 4 position a Chen, but they're going to go through Rubik, and that is a hero that can also create some difficulty for Phoenix. So overall, it's going to be pretty interesting to see some Black Hole steals, maybe even a Thunder God Wrath steal. Those would be pretty prominent, and I gotta say, this looks like a really good game for a Rubik Aghanim Scepter. I mean, obviously, it's a very expensive item, and it's going to take a while to get there, but let's say the game goes 40 minutes. You can realistically have a Arcane Boots, Blink Dagger, and Aghanim Scepter build, and you can do an insane amount of work with the heroes that you're up against right now.
Did you happen to see that series, I think it was 2 days ago, with the triple black hole, like Enigma black hole, then Rubik steals it, then the refresher black hole again? I have high hopes for this setup here, Blaze, that we'll see some more Event Horizon on Event Horizon madness. I've seen some pretty fun Rubik plays in this tournament in general. Yesterday we saw the Venn diagram of Chronospheres. That was exciting as well. Yeah, it's been madness.
Yeah, definitely. And we might see a nice little combo here with the Enigma Black Hole and the Supernova. Just
that's a
celestial wonder for sure.
Yeah, what happens when the Supernova meets the Black Hole? I'm not sure what happens in the realm of physics on that one. But it is a little brave to pick Phoenix into the Sniper. Generally, Sniper pretty good against bringing down that egg with his long range. Usually goes for high attack speed, the Mask of Madness, Sanjin Yasha, all that kind of stuff. So a lot riding on the back of this Phoenix to position himself carefully. Will probably be our Trixie hero, and we'll see how he fares. Naga Siren and Necrophos, the 2 final bans this game, 2 heroes we have not seen a lot of lately, but could have worked pretty nicely here. The Necrophos ban in particular makes me wonder what the 4 anchors have in mind for their final pick.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be that they're afraid of the Enigma getting hit by the Scythe when he tries to BKB Black Hole. They are worried about another ranged right-clicker against the Phoenix. Those 2 attributes of Necrophos could really negate some of his potential to get their ultimates off. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty interesting ban that I guess they just they don't feel confident in the mid to late game against. Like most carries, you can deal with this kind of a lineup where the Slurk saps the stats, the other heroes provide those very powerful nukes, especially if this is like a tanky hero they're up against, because Zeus and Enigma both have abilities that scale based on percentage of health pool, current and max, and that makes it so that it's not easy to play a survivability lineup against 4A ASC. But if Power Rangers went for something high damage, just a one quick spell cast and kill, then maybe that they'd have some difficulty against that. So they go with the Matoma Man Slurk. They have a lot of potential damage output from the rest of their team, and I actually feel like this lineup is pretty well structured.
Yeah, me too. You've got a Slurk who can go in the front lines, can make some space, Enigma to back him up, and huge damage output. Just Zeus and Skywrath together, that Ancient Seal, already Zeus does a lot of damage in a vacuum by himself. That's one of the reasons why he's able to just go for mobility tools, because he doesn't need much to buff him up. If you got an Ancient Seal or an Ice Vortex or something like that, he is just disgusting, especially in that early mid-game when he's really coming online and starting to max out those abilities. Level 11, should be exciting. I think 4ASC have huge potential, but ease of execution is definitely not with them. Some big ultimates, black holes, supernova, even just utilizing the Slark properly so that he gets a lot of farm but still controls some tempos. Much easier said than done, I think. Whereas Power Rangers, this last pick will be kind of telling with what they want to do, but I feel like they're a little more straightforward with their general strategy here.
If they want to mix up the lanes a little bit and recalibrate what they were intending for the laning phase, they could go for like a puck here. I think that hero is really strong against most of 4ASC's lineup. There's the initiation, the silence. Right now they have absolutely nothing to control the Slark, and that's got to frustrate them. Like the Chen might be able to get a single Centaur stomp off, but for the most part, the Slark is going to go unperturbed. He's just going to go ahead and stay right on his target, sniper or otherwise, and it's going to be a pretty difficult game for Power Rangers overall, but they want to probably go for a Zyori hero, and there are not many heroes that he plays that controls the Slark as well. But Anti-Mage is going to be their hero of choice, and if you can just get a quick burst damage pick on a high intelligence hero, like the Skywrath or the Enigma, maybe the Zeus, or if you could just even interrupt the Black Hole with the Mana Void, that would be sufficient.
Yeah, this gives Power Rangers, I think, a pretty obvious edge looking towards that late game. Of course, with Anti-Mage, it's not about getting 6-slotted and going 60 minutes plus. It's about the speed at which you can get 6-slotted faster than most other carries. But you've got that Sniper to really play that hardcore late game carry if the game ends up going that long. So, interesting choice. I think a good pick, though, from Power Rangers. And I don't know, Blaze. I think these drafts look pretty even. Obviously, different times that they come online, different general strategies. But I wouldn't say that one side has a clearly better draft than the other.
It kind of depends on how often the Slark is able to get kills on the Sniper, because that's probably going to be his main target. Is just get a pounce on the Sniper. He can't get away unless the Test of Faith kicks in fast enough, and they don't really have great ways to control him. But the Anti-Mage pick is just so smart. Zyori, he's very confident in this hero, and most importantly, it just survives against the Slark so well. Like, you cannot actually use any of 4Anchor's heroes to pin down the Anti-Mage unless you combine at least 2 abilities from 2 different heroes. Like, you could get the Ancient Seal along with a pounce, and that would give him some trouble prior to the Manta style, but just overall, like, this Anti-Mage is going to keep moving about the fights or keep farming and not risking himself, and the Slark is going to do pretty much the same. Neither one is going to get controlled too heavily, and both of them are going to be looking to really make their mark on the map.
Yeah. All right, let's introduce some rosters here. This is what it comes down to. Game number 3 in this best-of-3 series. On the Radiant side, we'll have the Finnish Pride, Team Finland, the 4 anchors, and the Sea Captain. The captain himself, Matumba Man, will be on the Slark. How appropriate. A little fish man, Boogie. He's going to be here on the Skywrath Mage. In the mid, that'll put Nymphy on the Thunder God Zeus. Volix will head into the jungle on the Enigma, and that puts Trixie here in the off lane on the Phoenix. Now looking at the dire side, the Power Rangers, they need this one. Seneko on the Spirit Breaker in the off lane. Cheshire Cat on the Chen, and look at this. An interesting ward placement from the Radiant, already countered by one Chen.
Yeah, it's very important that they actually saw that, because this ward could do wonders against Seneko and what he plans to do on this lane. Essentially, when a Spirit Breaker wants to go for a gank on mid or top, he has to back off to his tower so he stays out of vision. Otherwise, the predictable charge is just going to be TP'd on, and it's not going to be successful. But, although that Observer Ward gives an insanely good amount of vision against the Spirit Breaker, it's also very well predicted by the Chen. Cheshire Cat goes ahead, clears that one out, and he's actually picking up the Chen for the jungle here. So it's going to be interesting to see the role swap around between Seneko and Cheshire and see what he's going to be able to accomplish with the early jungle activity.
Yeah. Now, this isn't totally new from Power Rangers. We saw them do this in one of the games yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, or the day before, rather, when we saw the PR matches. Where they did swap these to go off lane, Seneko, as well as your jungler here, Cheshire Cat. So this is in their comfort zone. This isn't one of those kind of Hail Mary, like, we need to swap right now. This isn't working. Totally in their comfort zone. Don't panic, Blaze. I know you were getting upset. J4 on the Rubik, and Zyori, of course, on his safe lane Anti-Mage. Trixie already off to a good start on the Phoenix, though. Finds his level 2. That's that first checkpoint. Without a silencer here, his life will be a lot easier. Seneko, whoa, getting aggressive on Boogie down bottom. I don't think he'll find a solo kill here, but the Spirit Breaker also having a good time. Both offlaners getting some good farm.
Yeah, getting really involved. He will go for the charge here. He needs 2 bashes.
Whoa!
No, just the 1! This armor on Skywrath is so darn low at 0 that Seneko just needs 1 greater bash, a bonus damage. Will actually put him over the edge, and yeah, he's still kind of running around in circles against Matoma Man. The pound's cooling down. It looks like he will go down. No Orb of Venom needed to finish the job, but he buys his boots. He got the first blood.
Oh, he's got a charge. Scenario. Can he live here? One more auto attack knocks him out of the way. Oh, Sineko. But here's Volix. No, he knocks him out of the way. Does he find the auto attack? Oh.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I don't think he lives here. All right, Zeus finally finishes him off. Wow, that's Spirit Breaker. Making some space. I guess, ultimately, you don't really want to give that kill to Zeus. Almost would have been better if the Enigma had got... I don't know who's the ideal target. Loves Enigma wants the kill. Slark wants the kill. Maybe Zeus is the best target, all things considered there, to actually get the last hit. But still, the Space Cow makes out like a bandit. He gets that first blood, gets level 3, and now Sineko has secured himself at least a decent early game.
And he just gets to charge right back down to the bottom lane. No problem at all. So he's going to have a real stake in this lane. Matoma Man will probably have to go for the early Orb of Venom build to just kind of zone out this melee hero, because otherwise Sineko's going to be right on his target, gets another good bash, and that's just going to be really frustrating.
We got a Bash Lord down here. Who is this guy? Praying to RNGesus, getting the bashes when they count. We'll have a DC from QW, and we'll have to be a little patient here. Blaze, I want to ask you while we're in this pause, what color is that damn dress? If you tell me that you see white,
dude,
I swear to God.
I saw the dress for about 2 seconds. I said, that's stupid, and I kept moving. I don't know what color it is because I didn't even bother. Like,
oh, Blaze, I love it. I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed
dumb.
blue. I don't understand how that happened. Like, where did that come from? Is it like this weird like troll thing where they planted all these different pictures of dresses out there? Is it like a GIF that only rotates randomly once every hour?
No, I'm sure people just see it differently. I'm sure it's like an optical illusion that'll play a trick on your mind, and you'll see different colors, but there's
optical
no reason
illusions,
arguing over it.
Yeah. I just Googled dress the other day, and it was unbelievable how many, quote, news articles there were about this article of clothing. It made me a little... I died a little bit inside yesterday.
That is just absurd. Oh, Boogie versus Sineko, round 2. He's got the magic stick now, so he's pretty confident to go right up against him. He knows the Enigma isn't involved with the Dire Observer Ward, so all he's afraid of is the pounce. But the cool thing is, he brought a TP scroll to the lane. He didn't have to TP to the lane because of charge. So he just goes ahead, he brings the TP, and if he ever gets pounced in a bad spot again, he can just TP him.
Yeah, already level 4, in good shape. Gets that second point in the Greater Bash. We'll start moving around a little bit. Venturing about the jungle, may bump into Volix here, and this Enigma, all of a sudden in a rocky situation, pops the Empowering Haste, looking for a bash to get things started, but Zeus will be in the mid lane, low on mana, but can venture over to at least posture aggressively. Has a few Arc Lightnings he could throw out. Enigma will live, but slowing down his farm a little bit. Meanwhile, in the top lane, though, Trixie getting rotated on. It's a smoked-up Cheshire Cat. Telekinesis right into the hoof stomp.
Wow.
That'll be an easy kill for the Dire. Chen gets credit for it.
Yeah, just chunks him down. Really good creeps to gank with the Telekinesis. There are 2 heroes that really set up the Chen to do a lot with the melee creeps. That's the Shadow Demon with Disruption and the Rubik with the Telekinesis. And obviously with the Rubik here, they have a great lane up top, and they're actually able to take advantage of the Centaur and the Hellbear without a Dark Troll Summoner on top. So Cheshire Cat's going to have a really good timing towards level 7, and that's when he's going to have the full army to start pushing with.
Yeah. Anti-Mage is getting a lot of farm out of his safe lane. Matoma Man spending some time playing around with the Spirit Breaker. He is behind by about 7 CS already. Dityara having a very easy time with a Ring of Health already in the inventory. Stands to reason he'll just rush the Battle Fury. Nothing surprising about that, but getting a lot of space to do so.
So, Midas Rush for Matoma Man, and the Anti-Mage is, of course, going to be going for his Battle Fury. 2 ways to really enhance the farm, but one is more punishable than the other. If they can control the Ancients a little bit, 4 Anchors can really make it so Anti-Mage doesn't progress too much, but as we mentioned with the draft, it's going to be almost impossible to bring this guy down. Like, the pure damage of Midnight Pulse is not too bad, but like all their magic damage is going to fall pretty much on deaf ears with the mitigation.
So let's check in on this mid lane. Sniper versus Zeus. It is just an even farm fest. Both sides tied up in CS, right around 25, kind of keeping up with the Anti-Mage. Very impressive farm all around, and of course QW will be pretty happy with that on the hard carry Sniper. He played it last game, and will be very comfortable here. Nymphy picks up his Soul Ring. He has a bottle on the Courier, I believe, just crowing it back and forth. Staying pretty quiet for now, but for ASC, we'll have the opening coming up soon to try and get aggressive. Enigma not jungling as quickly as he would like. Of course, Dire a little bit more efficient, but also getting harassed by the Space Cow. He will not be level 6 as fast as you may expect. Once they have that black hole, I think we'll see him move around and look to grab a kill somewhere, maybe in that mid lane, just to get a little extra farm going his way.
So we're going to see a smoke coming in from Cheshire Cat. We'll see where he goes with it. It looks like he wants to contest the jungle directly against the Enigma. That probably would be his best bet here because, like, you rotate this Chen down, you pop the Test of Fate. That's a lot of mana to commit, but now he's in a position where he's regenerating it all back. He's smoked up, and he really wants to kill. Boogie seems to be the best choice here, and with the Observer Ward seeing him, he goes in. Random Centaur roaming through the jungle, though. That might tip the Skywrath Mage off.
That's a little suspect, but Snakeo's here. He'll take a little bit of a blast, but Boogie definitely going down. Lantern to the face as the Spirit Breaker bashes him into oblivion. Now Matumba Man, level 6, does have a Shadow Dance, but taking huge damage. Snako almost goes down, pops the wand. That'll keep him alive for now. Matumba Man, you are destined to fall, sir.
Yeah, and he got baited by the magic stick too. So he didn't check. Seneko had 9 stick charges, probably 10 with a couple abilities cast by Slark, and suddenly he can't get that return kill with the ultimate. And the only good play there would have been a purely defensive one, but kind of gets crossed wires. The Hand of Midas delayed, and Anti-Mage just doesn't care. He just keeps going, doing his thing. Trixie will disrupt him a little bit, but overall, like, he's just going to be forced back time and time again.
I say, who's disrupting who here? One blink forward from Dityara, and Trixie's pretty eager to get the hell out of there with the defensive Icarus dive. Cheshire Cat now invading the jungle, finds Volix here, will initiate with the Dark Troll, goes in with the stun, and Volix will fall. Cheshire Cat still alive for now. Oh, the lightning didn't hit him. That would have been a kill.
I can't believe he missed with that lightning. Like, you can't just... You can't make a click like that. You cannot mistake either the creep or the Chen. Like, he just he kind of glued to the wrong target, but...
Dityara taking a lot of damage, drops the Mana Void. That softens up Boogie. They'll lose Trixie as well. It's another disastrous trade in the top lane for 4ASC. The Power Rangers moving all over the map here, Blaze, and striking something fierce. Cheshire Cat now just taking over the Radiant jungle, saying, hey, Enigma, you wanted these creeps? Well, I needed to replenish my army here, so... Have fun with my leftovers there, Blueberry Boy.
Yeah, that's just a bad way to start off this game overall, but I mean, the Slark, he's still going to be waiting a while before he...
Oh, that Nether Strike, are you kidding me? That was from downtown, if I've ever seen one. QW still finds the kill with the Assassinate, a 1-for-1 trade in the mid. That was like, a Nether Strike started over here and ended over here. It's just this, like, massive charge up. Oh my.
Yeah, well, with Spirit Breaker, once you pop, the fun don't stop. He really just glues to you, and you're not getting away. That's the general game plan. And with the Sniper on top, like, the initiation is always going to net a kill. So this is just Power Rangers continuing to build this momentum. And I was looking at these drafts and saying, okay, by 10 minutes, one jungler is going to be doing a lot better than the other. And we see this Enigma is kind of falling short. He'll get his mech eventually, but by then, we'll see the mech plus Handigot from Cheshire, and that's enough to survive all these nukes from 4 anchors. The Skywrath, the Zeus with their ultimates, very scary until you have a decent amount of healing, and with, 450 early on from the Chen, that's going to be enough to put them over the top.
Yep. Volix just completely neutered here in this game from where he would be normally. Trying to get active, use that black hole and pressure lanes. There's just been too much pressure going his way. Seneko with that first blood is just balled out of control. Almost level 7 already, closing in on his urn. You compare that to the Phoenix, who is level 6, but just unable to control the game the same way that the Spirit Breaker can when he gets a start like this. The Phoenix doesn't have much farm either, which is another issue. As we've talked about a few times, not a hero that really needs a huge amount of farm, but having that baseline does help. Usually you want to try to get a Midas at least. Maybe an 8-Toes could be the way he goes yet again here in this match. Both offlaners getting converged on, a few heroes hiding nearby to try and jump on the Space Cow. And up top, there will be J4 and Cheshire Cat ready to rotate on the Phoenix. We'll see who jumps who first. Phoenix will move into the Dire jungle, maybe thinking trickery could be afoot. He'll get charged from down bottom. That'll keep the Spirit Breaker alive and secure vision on Trixie, even if he tries an Icarus dive into a funky location. Makes it to the high ground. Do they have any way to interrupt this? There is a Dark Troll. Mana Void's there! And it's a kill on the Phoenix. Nicely done by PR.
Yeah, and that's about the charge vision right there. There's no way you can actually get the Mana Void off without charge vision, but unless you get the perfect link onto the cliff. And I think the tree even then will obstruct your vision. So Seneko charge not only saves his life, but is what allowed them to cancel that TP and finish the job. So really smooth moves there from PR as they look to push the top tier 1. And it's just, this game has gotten into a position where Power Rangers can start playing very recklessly. And I mean, like this, you were talking about the fact that the Phoenix doesn't have much farm. You look over at poor little Skywrath. Like, he is impoverished. He doesn't have boosted speed.
He is below the poverty line by a few orders of magnitude here, Blaze. This guy, he needs to go on food stamps at this point. This is rough stuff.
Bounty Rune Welfare System. Ice Frog,
Yeah.
please.
Dude, 600 net worth. That is... Oh, my. That is sad. That makes me just feel pity. Well, Dityara closing in on his Battle Fury, looking to have it at a great timing here. About 900 gold off his Claymore, the final piece to get that cleave, the turbo farming tool. He's still number 1 on net worth, still besting the Slark by about 1,000. He does have that Hand of Midas, but still even on brown boots, Slark still hasn't really seen dividends paid from that early investment. Snako comes in to start softening him up a little bit. 2 TPs into the bottom tier 1 tower. Rubik as well as the Chen.
Oh, and they're bringing the army in.
Go for a kill here. They force out the Shadow Dance already with just a charge. Ultimate from the Zeus will reveal J4 and Cheshire Cat nearby, so Slark should be able to stay safe behind the tower. But
Matoman would really like to Midas one of Chen's creeps here, but it's so dangerous to do so without your ultimate.
Yep. And of course, there's a glyph here. They can buy themselves some time. Looks like 4ASC want to make a defense. They will smoke and rotate 3 other heroes down, leaving Phoenix in the top lane. Glyph still standing on the tower. Enigma with a black hole. Can he find the angle to initiate? Boogie coming around the backside. Volix charging on in. Maybe they'll find Sineko. Malefice flies through. Supernova. They bring down the Spirit Breaker right away. Chen in the tree line nearby, just trying to hide from the onslaught, and it looks like he'll be okay. All heal comes out. Trixie Icarus dive into the tower.
Wow.
It could cost him his life. Mech from Volix is there. They do end up getting the kill on Rubik. Trixie barely lives with about 40 HP to spare. What a close call. 2-0. 4ASC get the better of it, but QW pressuring the tier 1 in the mid lane. Not gonna find it. Barely pushes it into deny range.
Yeah, obviously Sniper wants to man up against this, but against 2 heroes, it's very risky. Assassinate, he sees exactly what Boogie's up to, and might try to go for a long-range shrapnel and go for the last hit. Obviously, he has the superior right-click damage, and he needs to get this hit. Oh, miss uphill, and just doesn't get it. That is actually extremely costly. It's not just losing the fight down bottom, but Sniper needs that last hit on the tier 1 mid to really get the snowball rolling. He's going to go for the Sanjin Yasha build, and that's all well and good, but just that kind of momentum that we're just going to be seeing from him, it's not characteristic of the 9 and 4 advantage they've had so far.
Down bottom, a little scuffle breaking out. No kill is shared, but some blood is definitely shed. Spirit Breaker going to limp his way back to the well after charging on in. But frankly, Sineko's plan right now is let me just cause as much chaos as possible. Let me pull attention to the bottom lane, distract them, and hashtag Space Cow created. As the anti-mage farms away. Not the best hashtag I've ever come up with, but this cow is making some space. So Dityara now gets his butterfly. Also, I said butterfly. His Battle Fury, the other BF, and his power treads. Not a butterfly quite yet, but don't worry, it's coming, Blaze. He's now cleaving around and continuing to push this top lane. Even getting some damage in on this tier 2 tower already.
Yeah, so I mean, he's building up nicely. The good old butterfly rush would be an interesting sight to see. That's a raunchy build if anybody watches his awesome videos. But yeah, the Spirit Breaker. I don't know what happens when Space Cow goes toe-to-toe with black holes and supernovas, but
he gets in his rocket ship and flies away. They call him the Space Cow for a reason, Blaze. Yeah. Come on now. Can we get an astronaut set for Spirit Breaker? Is that too immersion breaking? I don't know. I saw somebody complaining about Lieutenant Squawkins breaking his immersion because it's a boat that flies. So
there's a lot of stuff like that, honestly. For couriers, couriers kind of don't have to play by the same rules.
It's true. It's true. But Sineko level 8, he's really done a good job on this Spirit Breaker. 3-3-2, not a bad score, but I feel like you've really felt his presence in this game, just constantly keeping 4ASC on their toes.
The nice thing, though, is 4 Inkers are bouncing back with a double Midas build-up. The reason this is particularly good this game is against Cheshire Cat's Chen. They can start the fight, always take down 2, and that combo I was talking about, getting the Ancient Seal, getting the pounce, and now following up with Black Hole because of the Hand of God. They kind of one ultimate forced another, but they still get the kill in the end, and that's huge. But Black Hole on cooldown, they say, Roche boys, let's move. And Cheshire Cat leads the charge here with a great set of creeps. You've got some armor aura, you've got an attack damage aura. Don't get the attack speed since the Centaur has lost that effect, but overall, you're in a great position to take this freely.
I'm so glad they changed that. Centaur Hoof Stomp is already amazing. Giving you an attack speed aura as well is like, why would you not just want an army of Centaurs spread about to maximize the aura? But here we go. They will contest the Roche. Matumba Man in the front line. Spirit Breaker charging just the bottom lane. They will disengage.
Yeah, they don't want any part of that. They're afraid of the supernova, it would seem. I mean, everything else is on cooldown, but without the anti-mage, they are fighting 4 versus 5. So
true. Full
disengage, but the Roche they left is at about 2/3 HP, and it feels like that's something that could be forced very, very soon. But either way, anti-mage, he says, okay, well, I just got picked off, but I have my Battle Fury. Let's not focus on objectives just yet. Let's wait for 3 a.m. And it's not going to take too long to get there. He's farming the top lane very efficiently, and I'm assuming they're going to stack up some agents for him.
Seneko charging in deep. Looks like he's headed towards the mid. Just using it as a taxi service. Okay. They are giving anti-mage so much space this game, though. I feel like every time I see Zyori, he is just moving into this tier 2 tower, feeling pretty comfortable farming aggressively. Of course, they did just gank him once, but that's the first time he's died this game. He already had his Battle Fury, so damage somewhat mitigated. He blinks back as they start to rotate. Splitting the forces of 4ASC. Glancing at the net worth graph, it is Power Rangers holding on to about a 3,000 net worth gold lead. Experience, though, is 0 down as Enigma still continues to work that jungle and has also completed his mech. So Volux at least finding that first core item, helping him teamfight. We saw it down bottom to save Trixie after that crazy dive, so it's already come in handy once and pretty core on Enigma. No big surprises.
Interesting build coming out from J4 here. I like the build generally where you get 2 points of telekinesis, then you start maxing your null field. But in this case, he's just no play time like the present. He's going to max null field first. Only 1 point telekinesis. Still about the same utility, but oftentimes that extra little bit of range or tiny bit of stun duration can be a big difference maker, and 25%.
Smoke rotation coming in. No black hole, but there's a Phoenix egg in the middle of it. QW gets brought down right away after Roche. J4 barely TPs out. The Nova does next to nothing as they've already burned the Aegis, but QW will be in some trouble as he comes back up. Still alive for now. May die to the fire. Nemphy gets him from the low ground. Zyori nearby, but no low health heroes. He really just wants to clean out the trash and not be that initiator here. Rubik will go down to Matumba Man, who finds a double as he doubles back for the Chen. It's a 3-0. 4ASC will also kill the Aegis in the mix, getting a huge net worth trade and actually leveling out this game quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a really big deal there. Of course, they don't get the Roche Gold or experience, but taking out the Aegis and making it so that PR can't follow that Aegis up with more objectives while the anti-mage farms, that's a huge thing. Because if PR were confident to go forward distract from one, just go barrel down mid and bottom lane while the anti-mage keeps on ricing, suddenly 4 they are just up a creek without a paddle. But with this kill, with this break of the Aegis, they are in a much better position, and you're kind of seeing that no matter how tanky the sniper builds, building treads, building Songe opener, it doesn't help all that much because he's still going to be facing mechanics like the Midnight Pulse and Static Field, which play on high HP targets.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh. Okay, looks like we're having some connection issues here, Blaze. Did my internet just drop? I'm not sure. But we're going to keep going for the sake of the local. If you want to take over for a second here, buddy, I'm going to switch our ingests and try to deal with our tech issues.
Alrighty, so we're going to be seeing Seneko charge in. Might actually find a courier by happenstance, but it will make its way right from the shop. The target of choice is Trixie. Has the Icarus dive, but doesn't get the chance to use it as another strike bashes him down. Boogie coming in now, looking for the silence on the anti-mage, but they just didn't have the follow-through, and yeah, they just lose 1-0. The courier will finish its job over at the secret shop and make its delivery, but Seneko, he's on the prowl once again, charging, looks like all the way down to the bottom lane, and that's where Matumba Man is pushing. But yeah, overall progression, we're going to be seeing Matumba Man pick up that Scotty next with the Midas. He should get there in just a few minutes with this tier 1 kill. But again, Seneko charging and the blink away force from the Slark. Beyond that, we've got just overall map presence dominated by PR with their wards. But with their ultimates, 4ASC might just be able to 5-man together.
So I think we're back now. Sorry about that, folks. Not sure what happened. We just started dropping frames, did the old reset, and it looks like we are good to go. I think it was just a hiccup on our internet feed here as I also lost my Twitch chat. That's where the picnic started. Oh, boy, everyone's got their picnic blankets. Blaze, relax, folks. Enjoy your picnic food because we got more Dota 2 coming your way. You didn't miss much. I think a kill on the Phoenix was about it.
Yep.
And, of course, the local was going that whole time, so you can always check the VOD if you really want to see what you missed here. But now Trixie in some trouble. Black hole on Zyori. Supernova nearby. The Rubik will go down. Zyori locked in place. They've got the stuns and the damage. It's a 2-0 here in the dire jungle as they get another pick on the anti-mage. And now Matumba Man, the sea captain, getting pretty damn big, topping that net worth chart, and he is roaming about like a madman.
Yeah, so they're really pulling this game back into their own favor, using these ultimates so effectively. Matumba Man will duel it out with the Spear Breaker, and although the bash comes back from Seneko and he charges away, at the very least, Matumba Man gets some nice essence shift stacks that he's going to hang on to for a full 2 minutes. It's stats the Spirit Breaker doesn't get to work with. That's extra agility Slark gets to play around with, and he gets to farm just a little bit better because of them. So, yeah, they're having a pretty good time at this particular moment as Nymphy approaches his 16 with the Hand of Midas. Slark will do the same. And I could say every time they have their ultimates up, they can probably take a major objective. The tier 2 top is probably what they're looking for, but they'll probably have to defend as we do see the pressure coming down bottom.
Yes, I think they will. Seneko will TP out. I don't know that PR are actually even going to pressure it. Yeah, they will just back out. How's Anti-Mage?
It's interesting to see this ward place. Yeah. Like, they place out this ward and then they don't follow through. I mean, they could just kind of get like a long-range engagement with the Spirit Breaker smoked. You can actually smoke and then charge, and if you get a +1, that could be a kill. But overall, it's going to be a while before this ward actually gets to come into play. Maybe 4 minutes from now.
Yeah. Interesting. Keep on going, Blaze. Sorry, I'm still tabbed out here trying to sort this.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, essentially with this ward, like, they're going to see when Matumba Man is farming, and therefore they'll know if the other 4 are by themselves. But as far as actually capitalizing on that at full, it's going to take a full smoke gank, and they don't really have like blink initiators just yet. They have the Spirit Breaker to jump in, but that's not enough to control the Slark. And overall, I like the idea of controlling the enemy jungle, but this ward in particular is not going to be scouting anybody of consequence. But we do see Volix. He's got his blink mech, and he is going to be having his ultimate in just a minute. That's the time where they kind of start pressing their advantage once again.
All right. So I think we might finally be back. Oh, I see a stream on Twitch. All right. That's the good news that I was waiting for. And maybe it was just the delay that was playing with me why it wasn't coming back. So I may have just toggled it one too many times. But yeah, sorry about that, folks. I think you can hopefully hear us now. 10 to 10, Anti-Mage closing in on the Manta style, waiting for that ultimate orb. Has the recipe picked up already. Down bottom. Oh, Matumba Man finds a kill onto QW. Seneko on his way in, trying to make something happen, but he gets a bash on the Bash Lord himself. Oh, heal from Chen. What is this, Slark? Oh, mama. That is a taste of your own medicine to the truest extent of that expression, Blaze. Holy Toledo.
Really is. Starting the double damage rune the second he picked up the Basher, and suddenly it just wins him a fight. Can't even get the Nether Strike off there. That is absolutely absurd. Like, that play, I don't think that goes without punishment most of the time, but in that case, he gets it clean. He gets 39 agility to take to this tier 2 tower, and they're pushing up top at the exact same time.
Yeah, things starting to crumble for the Power Rangers a little bit here. This net worth graph moving more and more in favor of the Sea Anchors. Only a 3,000 gold lead, but about a 4,000 XP lead as they continue to take more control over the map. Now the Manta style up on the Anti-Mage. Chen holding on to a gem for now. Looking for a little map control. They will smoke under their mid-tier 2 and make a rotation towards the top. Coming to defense of their top tier 2. QW TP's in. They're going to bump right into Boogie. Watch out, Space Cow cruising on in. Nymphy able to blink back, looking for Volix, but will cancel it. Now the Supernova right in the middle of the fight. They will try to focus it down. Supernova will not happen. They lose their Spirit Breaker, though. Matumba Man solos down the core sniper there. Slark doing a lot of work. Dityara caught inside of the black hole. Will find a little bit of damage, gets off the Mana Void, but it just isn't enough. Nymphy's still alive. He's forced to run away. Him and Chen, the only 2 survivors, and now in the tree line. If he gets caught by Silence, he is definitely going down. And the elusive Anti-Mage looks like he will survive. Still not a good fight for PR.
Yeah, I mean, like, the Rubik there was trying his darndest to go for the Black Hole Steal. He was, like, running at him, but Slark just stays right on top of him and right-clicks him down inside the Shadow Dance. Like, there's nothing to be done in that situation. The Bash and the Scotty now are going to control this Rubik so hard, he's not going to get a Black Hole Steal, and that's really the only way they come back. Like, as long as the Enigma keeps on getting black holes on Dityara to take him out of the fight, not even kill him, just take him out of the fight, then suddenly the PR don't have any damage, because the Sniper doesn't want to pop Mask of Madness against all this nuke until he picks up his BKB, and yeah, the Slark is just riding all over them. This is very dangerous territory for Power Rangers.
Yeah, they just seem to have no way to control him in these team fights. Trixie will get charged down bottom by Seneko. Dityara's there to follow up. Nether Strike makes it an easy kill on the bird. So nice pick-me-up for Power Rangers, but they'll need a bit more than that to start regaining all the lost footing that they've had in this game. Slark, well, only 700 gold, but now he's got an Eye of Scotty to go with that Skull Basher and Blink Dagger. He is scary, and now pretty damn tanky.
He's just going to be able to control so well in the fights. I mean, the anti-mage will be able to get away. He'll be like the last man standing, but it won't change the fact that they can't take fights any longer. I mean, even with only one ultimate, the supernova or the black hole, they should be fine to take these fights. And I don't really feel like this max nullfield build is going to allow J4 to survive that much more effectively. Like, it's great against Zeus and Skywrath, but it's really, like, they just need more control. They need more disable than what we've seen so far, and I think that was just a problem with letting Matumba Man Slark get through to phase number 3 without any hero like Puck or Axe to really deal with him.
Yeah. Well, everybody set on their side of the map for now. Roche is up, though neither side really seems too interested in going for Roche with all 5 alive on the opposition. Dityara, how's his farm looking now? About 2,000 gold in the inventory. We'll see what he wants to move into next. Probably just wants to beef up a little bit. You know, something like your Heart of Tarask might not be a bad choice at some point here. Of course, Butterfly always core on the anti-mage. Damage output important, but I think he just needs to survive the round of burst damage that can come his way. He survived the last fight, but only just so. He is going to go into the tier 2 tower up top. Zeus doing some decent damage. He'll keep the tower out of deny range, but get it down pretty damn low.
And he's just going to go back to farming here. Not as many stacks as you'd hope for this anti-mage right now. They're not stacking up for him as actively as they could, and that means he's not really going to get to that next big item anytime soon. The charge will be scared out by Thunder God's Wrath, and it's just an illusion anyways, so really not anything to speak of for the Spearbreaker's movements. The BKB is going to come out for the Spearbreaker as well as the Sniper at the same time, and that's probably going to be where they get their second win. That's where they get their chance to really get this game, get a handle on it, and perform a little bit better. But about that time as well, you're going to be seeing an Abyssal Blade on the Slark, and that's the perfect item to control those BKBs.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Even just having that bash is not a bad tool to try and deal with it. Shen almost losing some creeps there, but we'll send him back as he scouts out the Roche pit, sees Matumba Man nearby. Though, no overreaction. Instead, Zeus just comes on in and says, hey, there might be a ward there. Let's take it out. One of many things that Zeus brings to the table, that the free sentry wards and the lightning bolts. Pretty handy.
And Zeus plus Slark in particular, because Slark with the Shadow Dance will always be able to scout out whether or not he's visible. And we've seen this combo work wonders time and time again for just overall generating map control without investing in a Gem of True Sight.
Yeah, that's a really great point as well. So teams starting to converge around the Roche pit. Maybe there will be some effort put on trying to take down the big boy. There is an Eidolon just hanging out in the pit.
Man.
Whoa, he's getting aggressive mid. He finds J4. The all heal from Chen comes out, but it's not enough. He still finds a solo kill. Even forces a TP in from Seneko. It's just showing you how much power he has around the map right now. 10-1-3. He's on a huge streak. And there is just nothing slowing him down. I mean, what can they do to try and deal with this Slark? Is something like a Hex?
10 Ghost Scepters. Like,
10 Ghost Scepters.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like every fight he's just running around, and the only thing they can do is run away from him. Down bottom, black hole onto Dityara. It's a solo hole, but in comes Matumba Man to try and lock him down. Anti-Mage will blink away, but now the follow-up's there. Ancient Seal will come about. They find it. It's 5-on-1, but they kill the prized Anti-Mage. Spirit Breaker gets a tier 2 up top, so not for nothing, but a nice kill for 4ASC nonetheless.
Yeah, and they'll just take Roche off of that. That's a perfectly fine exchange for tier 2, and yeah, at this point, the Anti-Mage has just been dead so many times. Like, a game where he probably shouldn't die very often, but they're just committing to Black Hole every time, and there's nobody out there to cancel it. Like, not a single hero in the vicinity to stop Dityara from being locked in the Black Hole, and yeah, we're seeing now he's died 3 times in a game where every single death is consequential. So Roche going down pretty quickly here. Matumba Man, if he gets his Aegis, I'm not saying it's over, but he's in a position to go right into the enemy's tier 3 with an Abyssal Blade that he can safely buy out for.
It's one of those games where we've seen time and time again, you have trouble killing a core hero once, good luck killing him twice once he gets that Aegis. Now, as you were talking about, BKBs are on the horizon for the Power Rangers. Dityara, QW, as well as Seneko, all getting magic immunity right around the same time that this Abyssal Blade for Slark is coming out. So, it is a tool to deal with BKBs, but only one BKB at a time. Maybe PR can start regaining some momentum now with 3 10-second BKBs ready for this next fight, especially given that Black Hole's down. This could be a window. They're charging Matumba Man here, but it's just Seneko. He needs to be careful. Matumba Man can pretty easily solo, I think, anyone on this dire side, except maybe the Anti-Mage because he can run away. But
yeah. The only thing you can do from Slark is just run. Just TP, I mean, maybe TP and try to hope he doesn't bash, but That's only if he's used the Abyssal Blade and if you're not already dead. Like, generally speaking, in 2 seconds, you're going to lose half your HP, and in the time it takes to TP away, you're going to lose that other 50%. But, you know, like I said, BKB timing synced up pretty well between Spirit Breaker and Sniper. Maybe that helps, but we're seeing the Blink initiation already.
Yeah, Seneko in a lot of trouble, and he'll get bashed right as he tries to charge away. It's as easy as that when you're RNGesus reincarnated into the body of Slark. Quick pick for the Radiant, and now they will start to push the top lane, or will they? They'll smoke up as the creep wave dies. They're going to double back. Maybe they'll bump into J4, and their Ancients. Ditya is farming. Trixie scouts it out. They could try to rendezvous and cut him off with this smoke and make something happen. Looks like they will come around the backside. Courier comes flying in. They get the Courier. Nice little pick off there. No cargo, but a gold gain for the Radiant.
Anti-Mage is going to go for a BKB here, but I really don't feel like any spells that are blocked by BKB are causing him too many issues. It's the black holes every single fight that's actually preventing him from doing stuff, and the other stuff is just something that he can either mitigate really well, or he can, of course, just look to Manta out of.
I feel like it's... Oh, yeah, I guess he can always Manta out of the Ancient Seal. That's the big lockdown that's been destroying him. Maybe just to try and deal with Zeus's damage, because he hits so damn hard. I don't know.
I mean, but he has Spell Shield, and I mean,
Null
he could
Field.
go for... yeah, Null Field and Spell Shield.
Do they stack, actually? They stack additively?
They stack fully. I mean, they changed it so Cloaks and Hoods stack too, so, you know...
okay, so it all just stacks up.
Yeah, there might have been a time where they did not, but now they definitely stack fully, and...
I'm not stacks multiplicatively. Okay.
Multiplicatively, you are correct there. But I would say that, like, going raw HP wouldn't be the best thing, wouldn't be the worst thing, because you're still taking a lot from the Midnight Pulse, but overall, you mitigate the spell shield so hard, I just don't think BKB is the right choice. Like, go Butterfly, maybe.
Yeah, just so the Slark can't get all up in you with his damage, force him into an MKB, kind of force his hand a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Well, tier 2 in the mid will go down pretty quick. Matumba Man still has a good 2 minutes left on the Aegis, and it looks like the 4 anchors will try to make good use of it. Moving into the high ground, but feeling a bit nervous. We'll play it more cautiously and back it on up. Enigma with BOT Blink Mech now looking towards a BKB of his own. No Bloodstone for Volix next, but rest assured, Blaze, if this game goes on long enough, it's a-coming.
Yeah. The way I see it, like with the last picks of the Anti-Mage and the Slark, those two heroes were set up for a game where they had absolutely nothing to control them. They could blink around, they could pounce around, they could do their own thing, and there's really nothing to stop them. There are a few spells inside of Power Rangers, but most of those will be Dark Pacted off, and then there is the Black Hole, but theoretically you should have somebody ready to interrupt that at any point in time. It's just the positioning has been really awkward for Ditya Raw. He's been jumping in very far into the fight, blinking and Manta-ing right at the beginning of the fight, and then he's been torn apart.
They find Matumba Man here. They use a smoke to actually get this initiation. They bring down the Aegis. Good rotation from Power Rangers, but what happens when he comes back to life? There is support inbound, and they will be forced to retreat. Matumba Man just going for Chen creeps right now. We'll be happy with a little bit of extra farm. Doesn't get a single one. Didn't use the Midas. Wow. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a little weird. But oh well. I mean, it just...
Hex on the Zeus.
That's actually pretty insane. I guess that's what BKB could really prevent, is you getting Yulesed and hexed a bunch in the fights, but I don't know. At this point, like, I would just prefer to see more offensive stuff from Ditya, because you have to assume that little black hole is going to get canceled, otherwise you don't take a fight at all. You actually, at this point, I think Power Rangers, in order to have a winning strategy, you have to make the assumption that you're getting a black hole of steel for your team. Like, there's no other way that you're going to take a fight this game, so... maybe they can go for the rat play, and maybe the BKB will be a little bit better for that, but with him just TPing back and then going bottom to farm, he's just not in a great position to really put pressure out across the map.
Well, Rubik does have a Blink Dagger. He's had it for some while, so J4 does have a tool to assist in stealing of the Black Hole. I don't know, I feel like Volix has been pretty safe with his holes in general this game, utilizing them when he can either catch the Rubik or when he knows the Rubik is not nearby for an easy steal.
The only fight that involved a Black Hole and Rubik's Blink Dagger, Matumba Man was right on top of J4 the entire time, and he died before he could even slow walk over to the Enigma. So, yeah, that's probably what you're looking at to be continuously more likely until the Ghost Scepter comes out.
But Matumba Man still farming away on the Slark. We saw the Abyssal Blade pick up another 4,500 gold sitting in that bank account, just waiting to be spent. Curious what he wants to move into here. Probably waiting to read what Dityara's next choice is. If he goes for the butterfly, of course, he'll invest in the MKB. But still farming very effectively, holding about a 4 or 5k net worth edge over the battle-furied anti-mage.
Yeah, if you want more offensive output, you can go for the Mjolnir. Defensive, you can go for a Satanic. You mentioned the MKB if he does see the components, but, you know, anti-mage has been pretty much the same items for quite some time now. The only other interesting pickup would be, like, a Diffusal Blade. If he sees somebody being taken home by the Test of Faith, you can actually purge that off. And we were talking about... there was one other aspect that I just slipped my mind. Oh, the Ghost Scepter from, like, Rubik or something. That would be good to stay on target there.
Matumba Man finds QW up top, connects with the pounce, but BKB will be used, and that'll keep him safe. Was that a 10-second BKB? It was. Minor victory here from Matumba Man. As long as he can survive, pounce over the tree line. There is a smoke rotation coming up his way, and that will kind of catch PR unaware. Now the jig is up. They'll go into Dityara. Yules to set it up. Do they have the Hex nearby? He BKBs. Black Hole not used. Volix wanted to, but didn't pull the trigger too early. 2 10-second BKBs used, though, for the Dire, and they did not find a kill out of it. That is still a victory for the Anchors.
Most definitely. I think that they intended for the Scythe of Ice to be used by Nymphy, and then the BKB, they didn't realize how quickly it would be drawn from Dityara. But either way, yeah, they lose 2 of their 10-second BKBs. The only one with a 10-second remaining is Seneko, and yeah, he just doesn't do as much for the duration. So... yeah, overall, it's a really tough situation for Power Rangers. They're going to lose their last Tier 2, most definitely, and they're going to have to draw the line elsewhere. But Matumba Man, with the Shadow Dance back up, looks to get aggressive, and unfortunately doesn't find anything, though he will know about this ward with the Shadow Dance missing.
So what did he invest in here? Looks like Matumba Man will go for a butterfly of his own. All right, big damage output and evasion. Jumps onto Dityara. Will use the Abyssal Blade to initiate. Dityara blinks out, but Volix is there. Black Hole again on the anti-mage. Can they bring him down in time, though? They can't, but in comes Skywrath Mage. Boogie sets it up with the Ancient Seal. Again, the solo Black Hole utilized for the anti-mage. He does have a buyback, but 4ASC feeling pretty good about their ability to keep this AM down.
Yeah, Power Rangers seem like they're on tilt a little bit at this point. Like, they're not communicating very well. Dityara's positioning has been extremely questionable this game, and they just picked up their second Vladimir's offering. One for the Chen, one for the Barathrum. Like, they're not getting the value they need this game.
No, certainly not. Anti-Mage probably won't be forced to buy back here, but they do lose their last outer tower. J4 wandering around with Invisibility Rune on. Needs to be careful nearby the Zeus. One stray Lightning Bolt. And Rubik may find himself in a world of pain. That Butterfly is completed on Matumba Man, though. Eesh. Ooh, gets a Chen creep. Will pick me up there as well.
Yeah, this is a really tough situation. When you're throwing away gold like this, it's actually pretty brutal. I mean, 2 Vladimirs, 1 Ring of Aquila. There's just so little that they're getting out of these items. 1 would suffice for sure, and I don't know. I mean, obviously, Spearbreaker has limited options to continue, but we were talking about Heaven's Halberd last game, and I think it would be just as good against the Slark here, since it is non-dispellable without a BKB.
Very true. I don't think anyone has it on the horizon, though.
No, Seneka just wasted all his gold, so...
Let's see, what did he pick up? A Vlad's? Is that what he just grabbed? They
already have one, though. It's 2 Vlads on the same team, it's just...
Chen, that is... Why on earth? Maybe they are tilting a little more than I thought here, Blaze. That is very peculiar. I mean, Vlad's stage in the game is good, but getting a second one is just a complete waste.
Yep. But,
you have some items
going?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah. You have some items like drums where you can legitimize getting a few on one team because it's not just about the aura, but you have an all aura based item. I guess for split pushing, no, it's not even on the anti-mage. Huh. Like if AM had one of them, I could see it as a split pushing tool, maybe making some sense. Not maximum efficiency, but at least it has utility. This is just, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, just at a loss. I think Power Rangers are really uncertain about what the next few minutes hold in this game, or they're very certain and very sad about it. But
look at this, Blaze. Trixie. He's got himself a Veil of Discord coming. Whoa, hold that thought for a moment. Dityara initiated on. The Mystic Flare brings him down in the duration of the Abyssal Blade stun. Dityara again stuck in the grave for over a minute. Buyback status, positive, but eek. How many times can this AM get picked off before PR are in the danger zone?
Yeah, I mean, they have a decent ward up. They even saw Matumba Man in that area killing off creeps, but the red flag didn't wave, and yeah, I think Power Rangers are kind of checked out of this one, which is sad to see, but it's understandable given how big this tournament is, how important it would be for them to take this win, and how down in the dumps they really are when we just look at the graphs.
Spirit Breaker trying to do some split push, putting that Vlad's to good use. Gets good damage on the tier 3 tower, and will now charge across to the high ground and TP back to the base. They did need the Enigma to TP home to try and deal with the split pushing, but he does have BOTs, so in 30 seconds he'll be able to TP back in, join the fight, and show off this 10-second BKB with a potential black hole. Interesting to see the Enigma go third point in the black hole at level 16. You'll see a lot of Enigmas not go for that just because of the mana cost, but I guess he wants that slightly shorter cooldown.
Yeah, and the damage is pretty negligible, so it really comes down to the mana cost, and he is going to be going for the Refresh Orb, which makes it a little more peculiar, because even though you can Soul Ring twice, the mana cost, 425 times 2, that's along with the Refresher cost,
exactly.
It makes it very difficult to manage.
Especially when you have BOTs as well, instead of Power Treads, there's all items that would give you a little bit of int kind of not going his way here. He did make a liar out of me, though, Blaze. No Bloodstone this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that one, but I'll believe it when I believe you, but I'm saying even when I see it, I'll try to understand it a little bit better, because I'm sure there's a place for it, but obviously he even feels it's not this game.
Yeah. Matumba Man in the mid, trying to pressure the barracks. Now Seneko charges in, uses the BKB, charges up that Nether Strike, hits the Slark in the face, but he'll survive for now. Ditya has respawned, comes blinking back in. And 4ASC will back off without taking too much damage. Now Matumba Man reinitiates right onto Cheshire Cat. Met comes out, not enough to keep him alive. The all heal from Chen, not utilized. He does have a buyback here. So Chen will still have a presence in this fight, perhaps, but without a glyph, their melee barracks will go down. And 4ASC get what they came for and a little extra.
So, we've got pretty much them on their last legs. They're just jumping in forward, bringing down Seneko. The Spirit Breaker, who dominated the early game with some great bashes, now just gets destroyed before being able to react. And they go in for the push on bottom. This is going to be the finalization of what has been in the motion for about 10 minutes at least. Since Slark really started building up that Skull Basher, that was the turning point for this game, that really he couldn't be controlled from that point forward.
All right, they get the kill onto Volix. No black hole to deal with now, but Slark just going ham all over the team. Yeah. He'll focus down the Rubik. Yep, Enigma's right back in. Ditya locked down again. Black hole used. It catches Ditya, but he dies faster than you can blink. Buyback on the sniper now to try and hold the base. J4 getting zapped down. The fire will hit him, but Mech keeps him alive. Now the buyback from the anti-mage. This is the last stand for Power Rangers. Quickly running out of resources here as 4ASC will back out, knowing what's on the line. They don't want to get aggressive, or too aggressive rather, linger around too long, and give Ditya what he wants, which is some way to pay penance to this buyback. It's very costly. Now it could be a dieback. Blink forward Hex. Where's the follow-up damage? They don't have it quite yet. He'll BKB and blink back. Oh no, Test of Faith. That's what you... I knew you were saying Test of Faith for a reason, but it didn't click until he was back in the well. All right, well, he's alive, but now his BKB is on cooldown for over a minute. Matumba Man jumps in onto QW. He's got the Aegis. He can afford to be aggressive here and possibly go down. Seneko charges forward. J4 steals the pounce, hops in, but there's a Shadow Dance. They just can't deal with this bloody Murloc. Now the BKB used by the Spirit Breaker.
Oh, we get some.
Oh, all right. Anti-Mage goes in. Ditya drops the Mana Void, procs the Aegis, but now they're coming back. They want the Ditya. There's the Hex. He's finally going to go down. No buyback this time. Stuck in the well for 100 seconds. It's a 4v5 on the field. Rubik steals the Midnight Pulse. That's cute, but will it save your barracks or your base? I say nay. Spirit Breaker falls. QW goes down next. GG's get called. Blaze, baby. We got the 4 anchors moving on to Phase 2 here for the Summit 3 European Qualifier.
Quite a surprise, but well-deserved. I mean, these guys really showed what they could accomplish up against Hellraisers, up against Power Rangers, two of the teams that people were saying they should be directly invited to the qualifiers themselves, but 4 anchors show that they have even more of what it takes to just go at it and to move on forward. So really excited to see what they bring to the table up against those classic Tier 1 European teams.
Oh, myself included. So exciting. A slugfest of a series, an absolute pleasure to cast in general, and exciting to see some upsets. Everyone loves a good underdog story, so there you have it. The 4 anchors, they follow the lead of their seed captain, and his Slark is just too much for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to take down. So that means PR now eliminated, and the 4 anchors will be moving on to the finals, which means, hey, you've qualified. There will be no finals for this single elim, but they'll be making it into Phase 2, the primary qualifier to go up against the big dogs. Coming up next, we've got Virtus Pro versus the Ninjas in Pajamas. Same situation, the second set of semis. The winner will be moving on to the next phase. The loser walking away empty-handed. Blaze, my friend, always a pleasure. If you enjoyed the cast, folks, make sure you give him a follow on Twitter, @BlazeCasting. I'm @Zyori TV and @Beyond the Summit to stay up to date with all things in the studio. Good sir, I think this is about time we part ways. It's a pleasure as always.
Yeah, definitely. Great fun to be able to cast this with you, man. I'm going to get some more rest, recover from this flu, and enjoy the rest of the best of 3. I can't wait to see what NIP bring to the next match, and obviously we have a lot of potential with Virtus Pro too. So this is just kind of laying the stage, setting the stage for some insane games of Dota, and I can't wait to see what happens in the tail end of the European qualifier.
Yeah, myself included. So we'll have a break, folks. Next series scheduled to start in about 35 minutes, so you get a break. For those of you in Europe, go get yourself some dinner, then come on back because a whole nother best of 3 set to get underway after this.